Good morning, everyone. My name is Paul Bezay, and this is Find the Intersection. Today is Wednesday, which means we are in the Old Testament. Today we're in Isaiah 65, one of my favorite passages of all time. And we're in verses 17 through the end of the chapter, I believe, 17 to 25. And this particular passage is so awesome because this is the picture of new creation. The first creation has been messed up by Adam and Eve, and our continuation of participating in the disease called sin, right? And so this is a picture of our amazing future. This is what John the Revelator quoted, was talking about in Revelation 21, where he was talking about a new heaven and a new earth and Jerusalem coming down. So anyway, so let's jump in real quick. Isaiah 65, verses 17 to 25. If you haven't read it, check it out in a couple of translations and then come back here. But the first thing I want to talk about, this is the context here. This is post-exile Jerusalem, and they're faced with the very difficult task of rebuilding Jerusalem and the temple that was destroyed by Babylon, right? And the first 16 verses of this chapter are words of judgment, and then the good news starts in verse number 17 all the way to the end. So God's judgment doesn't have the last word. There's always something on the other side of that. And so what we see in this passage is God's up to something, all right? So first thing we see that God is doing is God is creating new heavens and a new earth, this new creation. He's not destroying the old, but he is renewing heaven and earth. He says, I am created. And so that is something that we can be excited about. And the other thing that we see God doing is God is rejoicing and delighting in people. He's no longer angry. He's no longer judging them, but he's celebrating people. He's celebrating us in the new creation. God will hear us and God will answer. God will be present with us. And as it says in Revelation 21, God will dwell with us once again. So that's this picture of the Garden of Eden being renewed, a new creation. And that is the future, the Christian hope of the resurrection in a new creation, right? So God has this relationship with us and will be fully present with us. He talks about a new Jerusalem in this passage and talks about the characteristics of the new Jerusalem. There'll be no more weeping, which John picks up on in Revelation 21. There'll be, people will live, people will be working with their hands, right? There'll be fruit of our hands. In the new heavens and new earth, we will build houses, and we will work in vineyards, and we will eat of the food. We will participate in this new creation project, right? And it's going to be awesome. Kind of reminds me of yesterday's passage in 2 Thessalonians, where there were people who were not working, who were not participating in God's kingdom work. They were choosing to be consumers instead of participants. Here we take a look at the picture of our future, and we see people participating. It says in the very last verse, it says, the wolf and the lamb shall feed together. So this new Jerusalem, people will be together. People of differences, enemies will come together. They'll be around a table. They'll eat together. They'll fellowship together. They'll work together, and they'll celebrate together. So this is the picture of that. And what do people do? What do people have to do to get this new Jerusalem? Absolutely nothing. This is totally a work of God, right? And so this is good news. This is hope for restoration in our future. So even though things get bleak, we can hold on to this hope of God being faithful to us. This reminds me of the passage on Monday in Luke, where we see the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem, or at least Jesus predicting the fall of the temple, God's judgment on the temple. And he says, I will get you through this. I will save you through this. So there is always hope in the midst of tragedy. So anyway, that's what I got today. I think I walk away with asking myself the question, do I have hope in God's new future for us? Do I believe that there already is glimpses of a new creation, but in the future there truly will be a new creation? Can I be, as Paul said in 2 Corinthians, can I truly be part of this new creation? The old is gone, the new has come. Can I live into this future that God has for us? Now, what did you get out of this passage? If you would share in the comments what you got, I want to learn from you. And yeah, so we'll be back tomorrow to talk about we're tomorrow looks like we're back into Isaiah again, to Isaiah 12 instead of a psalm this week. That's it. You guys have a great day. Stay warm out there. I will see you tomorrow. Grace and peace, everyone.